Hi everyone, hallo Leute, hallo Wanderer. So today I'm again outdoor. Even so it's rainy, but I cannot stay at home without hiking. So it's better to be in the nature and do some exercises, walk, run, whatever you can. So, but I decided that I will entertain you today with some other topics, which is very important if you are freelancer, and I think it's one of the most important topics besides how much you earn and besides taxation. I just posted a video before this one about taxation in Germany, how to pay less taxes, and thus how to remove this financial pressure a little bit, because freelancing in Germany it's really a hardship, it's you're always on the rat race for survival, and therefore I think because I am freelancing already almost 7 years, I think it's very useful if I share with every one of you some tips and some life hacks how to successfully freelancing in Germany, in Europe, but particularly in Germany. So let's do it. So today's topic I wish to discuss with you is actually how to find apartment for living and housing anywhere. So whenever you are, so in which country you are, doesn't matter whether it's Germany or whether it's US, Canada, or whatever country you are staying in. So housing is a most important issue for you as a freelancer, because it's not easy to find it, and it's not easy to convince owners of the apartments, landlords, that you are reliable tenant, that you will pay your rent timely, and that everything will be fine, despite the fact that you are not employed, and thus therefore you don't have a proof of income, you don't have a contract. In Germany it's Arbeitsvertrag, and if you don't have this paper in Germany, then I have to say you have almost zero chances to rent for long-term apartment in Germany. But I think it's true for any country, at least what I know in the European Union. So owners of apartments and landlords, the first thing they want to see from you, it's not actually your passport or Ausweis in German. It's not any other legal papers, but the most important for them is your ability and your proof that actually you will pay your rent in time and for a long time. And for those who are employed, for them everything is easy. So they can prove it without moving any fingers, because their company where they work, they provide such documents for them every month. Everyone who is employed receives such a document by post, where everything is legally and officially stated: how much you earn, how much you spend in terms of taxation, and what is your netto and brutto, so to speak, in Germany. But freelancers, we don't have such document, and we cannot make it for us because we are not companies. We are freelancers, we are self-employed, and if you even write such a, I don't know, table where you summarize how much you earn and how much you spend for business associated costs, so no one will believe it. And this is the main issue, the main aspect of the main obstacle, I have to say, in Germany, to find and rent successfully apartment as a freelancer. However, in this video I'm going to tell you how to avoid this obstacle, how to overcome these troubles, how to make it possible that you can rent apartment for your own, not just a room in shared apartment, but really apartment, and for duration of the time as much as you can. So you can prove to officials, to e-mobility companies, or to private owners of apartments that you are a reliable person. And this is a video about this. Believe me, I went through all these nightmares as a freelancer, and I gained some knowledge how to go through this forest, let's say it like that, and find a way out of the forest. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's continue how to find apartment in Germany and rent it as a freelancer. As I said before, it's very, very difficult. And the difficulty, it's not only because there is a huge deficit of free apartments in Germany, and there are many reasons for that. So the construction companies and landlords and owners of other apartments, big owners, they have no interest to build new housing, in Germany, because it will remove a deficit in the market for apartments, and therefore there will be no deficit. There will be prices going down for e-mobility, and they don't want it, that it happens. And this is how I see the situation in Germany and elsewhere else with housing. So there is no huge interest to drop the prices for e-mobility, and therefore it's always a deficit. So, and in Germany it's particular huge deficit for housing, for flats available for renting. But nevertheless, so we have no choice but adapt to this situation. And as a freelancers, you don't only have this problem of deficit, right? But as I mentioned before, you also have a huge problem that you don't have all those papers, bureaucratic stuff to prove that you are a reliable tenant, that you are a reliable person who will pay your rent timely and fully. Because we are not companies, we are private people, and also because our incomes in most cases, they are not stable. So one month you have enough, another month you have too little. So, and there is no guarantee that you will pay your rent, let's say, in half a year or in a year, because there is no guarantee. Nobody can give you such guarantee. Even myself, I cannot say for myself that I will have enough money, to pay my rent, because this is a situation, this is reality. Incomes always fluctuate in time, and sometimes it's difficult, and you have to maneuver all the time. However, despite all these problems, obstacles, and so on, there is a way out from this, and I can just tell you my story, how I found apartment at the time when I was already a freelancer. So I was living in Magdeburg for quite a long time and worked like a scientist. But then at that time, when I became a freelancer, I still lived in that apartment which I rented when I was employed, right? And then when I saw kind of in perspective how my financing, how my new business will develop in time, I understood that I have to move away from apartment I rented because it was quite expensive, I have to say, and to move something cheaper, something normal. Yeah. So the average price in Germany for single room apartment is around 400, 450, and this kind of apartments I started to look around in Magdeburg, and instantly, just instantly, you know, first so-called Besichtigung, first visit of available apartments in Magdeburg. They are available, they are, so you can rent it. But instantly I saw some disbelief in eyes of all those maklers and office staff, you know, in immobility companies, when they asked me, about all those tons of papers which I have to provide to rent such apartment, and when they got to know that I'm actually a freelancer, so I instantly saw in their eyes that no, you will not get this apartment. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. It doesn't matter for them. So for them is a big matter, is a guarantee that you will pay the rent next few years, right? And if you don't have a contract, Arbeitsvertrag, then there is no such a guarantee for them. Full stop, point. And I was trying to negotiate with them to prove that I'm reliable and so on, that I have a money, that I have a job, my job, I'm writing books, travel guides, and I'm a travel photographer. So, and at that time, it was before COVID, before pandemia, it was a very kind of hot topic, so traveling, everybody was traveling, so, and I thought, it will be very good business for me. But they don't believe you in words, they need bureaucratic papers. And then I started to call so-called Steuerberater, so in German it's like tax advisors, because in these mobility companies they told me, oh, you need to prove your income, you need to prove how much you earn. I told them, oh, I can print out my bank statements, so it's visible how much I earn monthly. No, they told me, it's not enough, it's not sufficient. You have to go to such a Steuerberater and make official proof with them how much you earn and how much you spend as a businessman, for your business. And I started to call such companies who have this Steuerberater, and from 10 companies, so I sent them requests for termins, and I explained who I am and for what termins I need. And from 10 companies I sent my requests. I've got reply only from 5. 5 even didn't dare to reply me, and 5 replied me with one sentence: we are sorry, we are currently overbooked, so we cannot provide you any termin. Bye bye. So and then I kind of put my head into cold water. I understood that this not very easy, as it sounds like, to find что я берата and to make such statement official, how much you earn and so on, because they are not interested, because they are looking for really big fish in this market. So they are looking for people who would wish to have full management of their taxation, and therefore they will earn many thousands from them each year. And my $50 or $100, which such a paper may cost, to make for me, it's not big interest for them. Therefore, they just kick me out everywhere. And then, yeah, I was really shocked about Germany, how it's everything organized here. So nobody, it was 7 years ago, right, before pandemic. At that time, no one was caring about people who are freelancers. Yeah, we are not the majority in Germany, but we're still like between 1 million and 2 million, I guess, in Germany, who are freelancing. And there were no special kind of services for us, nothing like that. People were not really friendly when they knew that you are freelancer, so they could not help. They had no any kind of suggestion what to do. There was like no way out from this bureaucracy, from this stuff which you cannot go around. So you need somehow prove your income, and there is no any tool for that which is available for you. This is how I thought that time, but I have to say I wasn't experienced at that time freelancer. I just started myself, and before that point I was all the time employed in Germany. So but there is a way. Now I can tell there is a way how you can do it. And this is why I'm recording this video, because I would like to share with you how you can go through this obstacle, bureaucracy. And the first step, what you have to do, you have to stop looking for long-term housing in Germany. You have to search for temporary living in Germany, apartments. 7 years ago, I remember there were just very few of them, available on the market. But today, if you go to any kind of e-mobility app, in Germany, be that Imo Scout 24, yeah, very famous. I guess it's #1 in Germany to search apartments and all the stuff. And if you look there, so now this temporary living housing is very, very popular. I guess it's because people started to move much more than 7 years ago. They migrate further and back. They search for new jobs, not just within Germany but outside Germany, and then they, after a few years, they come back. So yeah, the world has changed, and the business, this business, e-mobility business, also has no choice but to change. And there are some changes, positive changes, but yeah, they are too little. I wish we have more changes in this market. But nevertheless, if you look there, you will find temporary living apartments which are put on the rent starting from 3 months. Usually it's like minimum 6 months and up to 1 year. And these kind of apartments, if you rent them, actually, you don't need all these tons of papers and proofs and so on, You don't have to have this proof of your income and how much you have a profit to pay rent, because it's very short-term contract. And if something happens, you just leave 3 months, 6 months or a year and then by contract you are supposed to leave this apartment. So there is no risk for landlords and owners that something happens and then they have a trouble to kick you off because you are not paying your rent, and therefore they don't ask for those papers. It's very easy to rent them, and usually they are but not necessarily they are provided with furniture and with kitchen stuff, so you don't have to buy anything yourself. And such apartments logically they are more costly. They about 100 euro with something. They are more expensive than it would be otherwise if you would rent empty apartment or apartment for long-term living without any specific term in time, right? So for example, here in Chemnitz, where I live nearby, for long-term apartment, you will pay around 300 euro for everything, including electricity. Yeah, this is the minimum price. But the minimum price for short-term living apartments for half year or year, it would be around 400, because they all go, or most of them, they go with furniture. So you pay kind of leasing for furniture. So you use furniture for your time you are living in this apartment, and therefore you kind of pay for this furniture. And don't expect that furniture will be really nice and new and so on. It will be, I guess, what I saw in many cases quite old, but for me it's fine. For me, the more important functionality than how it looks like. This is a way out. And another trick in this respect, that if you are a good tenant, if you pay your rent in time, and if you lived in such short-term living apartment, right, for a year or so, then I can tell you that you can negotiate with the owner of this apartment that that you will live for sure further if you like the apartment and like the place another year, but also it will be no problem. So you can always extend your contract further. It just will be made for short term, again for 1 year. But if you really like the place and you are good tenant and there were no any conflicts between you and landlord, then you can ask. Usually it's a private person. You can ask such an owner that let's make a unlimited contract. Let's make a without terms contract. And what I've heard from many people, and what I did myself, it works. So it works really. So after a short-term living, year or 2 years, you kind of proved your reliability to the owner, and then you can ask for such a transformation of your short-term contract to an unlimited contract. It's possible. Another tip, another life hack I can tell you is that you can use nowadays many other platforms to search for apartments, and there is one which is very nice. I use it myself to find apartment here in Germany as a freelancer, and it worked well, really well. And the kind of functionality of these platforms, they look more like Airbnb platforms, but not for travelers, not for tourists like Airbnb, but for people who are, as I said before, all the time moving back and forth, be that students or contractors, You've got your contract just for 2 or 3 years, and then you have to return back. So you need temporal living somewhere. You are not interested in unlimited contracts. Because of such market already existing in Germany and elsewhere in EU, so such digital platforms, apps, they started to pop up, they started to appear here and there. And there is such I can recommend myself, which I used. It's called housinganywhere.com. So it's, as I said before, it's like Airbnb. You have offers everywhere, not just in Germany. You know, if I remember correctly, their main office is in Netherlands, but they have pretty much offers in Germany, in Spain, in Italy. Yeah, I guess in every country in Europe. And it works similar to Airbnb. You choose a flat which you like, and you send a kind of request to the owner that I would like to rent this flat. And usually you see the flats with furniture. It's again reasonable, and the price is also higher than it would be otherwise. Again, it's also reasonable, right? And what you need only to rent such apartment is your credit card. So you pay monthly rent with your credit card. Then you pay, this is deposit, caution. Again, they also have it there as a like precaution, right? And then you also pay some fee to this platform, and that's it. So once you pay it and once it's approved by owner, yeah, you become a tenant. And the most important thing in this platform versus Airbnb platform is that such platform, many flats in this anyhousing.com service, they provide also registration. It's very important stuff, as you know, in Germany, in particular in Germany. It's called Anmeldung, and without this you are not supposed to be in Germany. If you don't have it, then you are tourist, and if you are tourist, you are supposed to be in Germany only 3 months, not more. And if you are not tourists and you are working in Germany, you are freelancer, you registered in a tax office in Finanzamt that you are freelancer, then you have to have this Anmeldung. Otherwise, as they say, you violate law, and then you have to pay big fines if you are not registered and you are caught by somebody that you are not registered. Even so, if you are kind of late, if you were registered somewhere in Germany and then you moved to another flat and you couldn't register for more than 2 weeks, it's already you become already a subject for to get from you money, to get from you some fine, because you are supposed to make this Anmeldung within 2 weeks after you change your address. So, and Airbnb doesn't provide this. So I never saw any flats, any mobility in Airbnb which is saying that okay, we can register you. Maybe you can negotiate with the owner, but it's kind of not officially. This platform is made not for this kind of purpose. But anyhousing.com, it's officially, so whenever you search there, so it's stated this particular flat or room is with Anmeldung möglich, in German. So it's possible that you can register. And to register, you need a special form to be filled by the owner. So it should be with agreement with the owner of the flat. So, and after you paid with your credit card on this platform the flat, and it's saying that it's with Anmeldung, with registration, so you are done. That's it. Congratulations. You become a tenant for at least 3 months, and then you can extend your contract with the owner further. And this is easy. I can give you another tip what you can do to prove financially to any landlord or to any immobility company how much actually you earn and what is your profit in your business and your freelancing activity, and that you are reliable in paying your rent, your monthly rent. So actually, when I said at the beginning of the video that we don't have such documents because we are not companies, we are private, so to speak, entities, right, as a freelancers, so we cannot issue ourselves any documents. It's not really true, because actually we do have a document, and it's has the highest importance, validity in Germany, because it's issued by tax office. Actually, this document is called Steuererklärung Bescheid, and in this document is stated everything actually. Your annual income as a freelancer, how much you spend to run this business, your profit, and your taxation. So everything what landlords need. Of course, it's retrospectively, so it's like back in time. But if you provide a few of such documents, let's say for previous year, for year before that year, so like 3 consecutive years, you have this Steuererklärung Bescheid, and everything is fine there, then it should be sufficient to convince landlords that you are reliable tenant, right? And I can just give you a few suggestions what you have to do. So usually when you file your Steuererklärung, to the office, to the tax office, so you do it through Elster website, right? And as a freelancer, you have to send 2 documents. The main one, where you indicate how much you earned and how much you spend for your health insurance and retirement payments. And another document is more important to you as a freelancer, because you put there how much you spend to run your business. And as I said in previous my video about taxation in Germany as a freelancer, so at the end of your calculations at this Elster website, so you will get a kind of indication how much you have, how much is left when everything is deducted from your spendings, how much is left of your profit, and therefore how much you pay taxes from this profit, right? So you can actually, those documents, those prints, which are digital, you can save them as a PDF files, and because they indicate everything how much you spend for your business, it's clearly visible how much is left from your gross income for renting, for housing, right? So I can give you such example, for example, which I gave in previous video with taxation. If you earn, let's say, 2,000 euro monthly as a freelancer, so 450 you pay for your health insurance, 350 roughly you pay for your retirement, 900 it's not taxable because it's tax-free allowance in Germany currently, 900 euro monthly, and what is left is 300 you can prove, if you can prove, right, that it's the money which are business associated. So and therefore you don't have a profit from this business. So profit is zero, and therefore the income tax is also zero. And all these calculations, they will be in your files. They will be in this second form which you send to tax office. It will be clearly visible, and it's official, and it's PDF already. So that any landlord will see that after, when you deduct all the social taxes you pay in Germany, right? Health insurance, retirements, money, and your taxation as an income tax. So what is left for you is 1,000 euro. In this case, when you earn 2,000, half instantly goes away from your bank account because it's all social taxes, and half is not taxable because it's tax-free allowance. And from this 1,000, it's guaranteed that this is your money which you can spend for renting, right? And in Germany, some years ago, I guess before pandemia, there was a kind of golden rule, golden ratio that you're earning, you're actually what is left after all taxations, this is netto. This is your money which you can spend for living in Germany. So your netto must be 3 times more than you rent apartment, the cost of the rent of the apartment. This is ratio 3:1. It was before pandemia. But now I've heard from many people, and I read some forums where people saying that it's not anymore the case, because many people, they become earning less and less because of inflation and because of cost of energy in housing and so forth. So people become poorer, so to speak, earning less, and they have a less amount of netto. And therefore landlords, they kind of removed this 3:1 ratio, and they become kind of trustworthy in terms of, okay, if you have at least 2.5 to 1 ratio, 2.5, or 2 is not guaranteed. 2 to 1 is not guaranteed. It's like, if you're lucky, you can get apartment. For example, if apartment costs 400 and your netto is 800, landlord may decide, okay, 400 is not enough for you to live, for food, for to travel, for your mobile, for internet. They may decide it's not enough. But it depends, on the luck. It depends, is there a big competition for this apartment or not? But if you have a ratio like a bit more, like a room or an apartment costs 300, but you are earning 800, then the ratio is 2.5 to 1, and then they may think, okay, you will survive. This is a good ratio. We can give you this apartment. But of course, it's the best to have still, I would say, the old ratio 3:1. Then it's kind of should be no questions from landlords and immobility companies that you are earning as a netto too little. This is my advice. But this is always, you never know. You have to always try. With every apartment, with every landlord, with every immobility company, you have to try, because you never know for how long this particular apartment is actually on sale. Is actually the company is trying to give a rent for this apartment. It could be that the apartment is for many months is not rented, and therefore the mobility company is really on a red race to sell it to somebody. You know what I mean? So you have to always try, and they can negotiate. If you have all these documents which I explained before, you officially prove how much you earn, and you can also add some printouts from your bank, from your Giro konto. Then you are kind of on a good stand with them, and you can always make a reference that come on, I have a Steuererklärung Bescheid. This is the most official document, financial document in Germany. There is no kind of hierarchy document which you can get as a private person, as a freelancer. And if you go to Steuerberater to make a kind of statement with them and pay for it, so it will be also based on your Steuererklärung Bescheid. So it will be just repetition of this document, just copy of this document made otherwise and also additionally paid. Oh, this is bureaucracy, unbelievable in Germany. And yeah, you have to argue with them. You have to negotiate. You have to push. Otherwise, yeah, they will be very hard to find long-term flats as a freelancer. That would be my advice as well. To use your official papers and push hard and always give a try. So you never know. So what is the current state of this particular flat? Maybe you can get it. And I can give you another advice how to kind of make assessments on this, for example, Imo Scout 24 DE website and also app. Whether you have a good chance to get this flat. I mean now the flats for long term, right? Renting. So if you mark the flats which you wish to have, with a star, so you make kind of a list of such flats, and then you can follow them in time. And if you see that some particular flats are staying not rented for more than a month, then I have to say, yeah, you can have a good chance to get this flat, because obviously, these flats somehow do not attract your main competitors, so to speak, employed people, right? Whether it may be, not really new, maybe it's not renovated, maybe it's in a location where people who are employed and have a much better chances to get any flat in Germany than you as a freelancer. They are not really interested in this flat, and therefore it's this flat is kind of outsider, right? And it's just waiting for you, for such a person who can kind of compromise a lot of things and live maybe not in the best place, not in the best flat, not in the best neighborhood, and so forth. So you make this compromise, but at least you have a roof above your head. So this is my advice. So follow flats which you picked up for a month and see is there any outsiders. And with those outsiders, you may have much better chances to get these flats for long-term living. For short-term, there should be no problem. If flat is available and you contact the owner and everything is fine, so you can instantly rent this flat. And actually in this website or in the app imoscout24.com .de, you can instantly sign your not Arbeitsvertrag, but Mietevertrag, your apartment contract to live because now they can kind of provide this service that you can make everything digital, and this is a good. So they also provide kind of service that you can view the apartment. If for example the apartment you want to live is located in another city, so and it's far away, and you have to go there, you know, for this Besichtigung, to view the apartment. It's a lot of time, and you have to pay money and so forth. So you can now see these apartments, kind of virtual, to have virtual tours to see these apartments. Of course, not all flats have it, but many good flats, they have it. So, and actually, if something is not clear for you from the pictures, you know, of the apartment, you can always ask the owner to provide more pictures, or to provide more description of the apartment, or to at least to answer your questions, your particular questions. For example, how far is a supermarket, or are there good neighbors living around your apartment? Is there kind of not noisy? Are there any kind of issues I have to consider? You know, is there a safe area? You know, this safety area is also important nowadays. So you can ask these questions directly from the owner if it's not provided. Okay, I think I told you everything what I wanted. How to successfully rent in Germany as a freelancer. It's really hardship, and it's getting somehow, in some respect, harder and harder every year, but in some respect easier, as I said, with this temporary living. This is really a good stuff which you can use, and if you are a good tenant, if you like the place, this temporary living you can convert into long-term living, and be that you just resign new contract every year, it's also fine, or you make a 2 years contract, yeah, not 1 year but 2 years, or you can make even unlimited contract. It's all in your hands, and it's all the kind of part of negotiation with the owner. You can negotiate. Okay, I think I'm done for today. I hope it was useful for you, and yeah, stay as always healthy, positive minded, hike as I do whenever you can, and I try to continue doing this kind of streams where I will share my tips and knowledge about freelancing, about everything, how to live in Germany, how to survive in Germany as an expat, as a freelancer, as in Germany there is a term kleiner Unternehmer, small entrepreneur, right? A creator, a video blogger, book writer, a journalist, whoever you are. So how to be a good citizen in Germany, and how to fight bureaucracy, how to fight all this paperwork, how to not miss kind of opportunities which are already there. They exist, but too few people know about them, and in many cases what I share with you I went through myself, so I just share my expertise and exactly how I manage to go through it, the way out from this tunnel, and stay in touch, and ciao ciao.